What's up guys, today we are going to texture another weapon, something between a gun and a bow, a gun like bow, whatever. Let's start. So when you start doing your base textures, you have to pick 3 colors. A color for your shadow, a color for the highlights, and a base color. Usually I always pick more saturated colors for shadows and less saturated ones for the base. For example, as you can see it in my basic wood texture, the main wood itself is like kinda greenish and less saturated, and the shadows are more saturated and they have the red color in them. Yes, it is very important to always add additional colors into your shadows because shadows are never black. So after you picked 3 different colors for your base texture, you can start to slowly paint over your base texture with a brush, trying to stretch the base colors you already have with the strokes of the brush, drawing some additional details on your texture. As you can see, I don't use a hard brush right away in the very beginning of my process, though I will later on, spoiler, because I want to finish this texture with a more realistic and soft look, and then when I'm satisfied with the result, I will start to destroy this texture fiercely by just picking the colors from the gun and making harsh strokes with a brush to give it a super stylized look. I think it's a lot easier to just make a soft texture at first, and then all you have to do in the end is to ruin everything with hard strokes of the brush. don't be afraid of adding strong extra colors. The main mistake the beginners usually do is that they play with light, with brightness level, but they don't add extra vivid colors. So as a result, the texture looks flat. Even though the light on your texture is on point, but if you didn't add the additional colors, well, you're missing out then. By the way, when you're playing with brightness, make sure that the bright part of your object is not too white, because we only need to place accents with light, not to make the whole object light, because it'll look flat then. Spread your shadows more and make the bright parts more narrow, so they will draw more attention to them and your object will gain more volume. So in a nutshell, there should be few bright parts, okay? Keep in mind that you always have to have some balance between those areas with painted details and rest areas, because if you try to draw details on every single piece of surface that you have, you will have a very noisy texture whatsoever. Don't feel like you have to fill every surface that you have with details. On the contrary, leave some space here and there for the viewer's eye to rest. Try to use overlay when you are adding additional colors because overlay doesn't erase all of your details, it just enhances them, but it makes your additional colors look saturated. And if your whole model is already saturated, then add desaturated colors into your highlights or shadows by adding them through some other blending mode. I mean, not overlay, but some other blending mode. Just scroll through all the blending modes and choose the one that works best for you. It can work very cool with, for example, gold, because gold is saturated in general. It is yellow, right? So add through some blending mode some gray color, maybe in the places where you have shadows. It will make your texture look better for sure, no doubt. By the way, don't try to make your texture look well throughout right away. Don't try to polish every millimeter while you're still in the process of texturing. Don't zoom in and don't start working on small details unless your texture looks good from the average distance. And only when you're satisfied with the average distance look, only then proceed to polishing your texture from a close distance. But please don't overdo it, because you may spoil the look from the average distance. You know what I mean? Try to polish it without changing the texture significantly. Your polishing should not affect the overall look anymore. much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please join our community in Discord. The link is in the description below. There you can share your works and get a feedback on them. See you next time. Bye.